I was quite nervous when they called me up because I often speak in front of students, the masa, sometimes prisoners, and most of the time, children. So I seldom speak in front of high-profile, famous and rich businessmen of the country and foreigners, visitors coming in. Thank you so much, Richard and Rebecca, for inviting us. Before I move on, I'd like to introduce the office where I work, what we do. I work with the Presidential Communications Operations Office, and what we essentially what we do is to engage and involve everyone. Actually, we should be involving the business sector because we know that the private sector plays an important role in bringing in development, especially in the countryside where the president wants to invest on. And after which, I'd be presenting updates from the Department of Tourism so that perhaps the business sector might look into how to help out and how to invest in perhaps in the countryside and in other areas, not only in Cebu, Bohol and Davao, but perhaps up north, or where so that those from the barrios would just perhaps find employment there and stay there and choose to stay there. May I present the Presidential Communications Office?
The Presidential Communications Operations Office, or PCOO, is the premier arm of the executive branch in engaging the citizens and the mass media on all matters of the nation, covering all bases on ground, on air, on print, and online. Today, PCOO works alongside agencies in the executive branch to further involve the public on undertakings, programs, and achievements in building the nation under the Duterte administration. Learn more about the agencies under the Presidential Communications Operations Office. Philippine Broadcasting Service, or PBS, has brought the people and the government together through music, commentaries, and news for over 70 years. Today, PBS stations are the top choice of listeners all over the country. And with over 30 stations nationwide, PBS aims to reach a more diverse audience. Formed in February 2, 1974, and known then as Government Television, the People's Television is the nation's premier television network, dedicated to deliver news and information that matter. PTV now airs in the morning, noontime, evening, and late night, bringing news and awareness to Filipinos everywhere. With enhanced transmission, improved quality, and increased online followers, stories relevant to the lives of the Filipino people will now have farther reach. The Philippine Information Agency, or PIA, is PCOO's champion in grassroots relations, strengthening engagement with faraway communities. Spread across 18 regions in the country, with more than 100 information kiosks, PIA's presence has reached further into the hearts of our masses. The Bureau of Communication Services, or BCS, since 1973, develops and conducts public information campaigns through printed materials. With modern printing equipment, BCS is able to meet the printing demands of the different government organizations of the executive branch. The Asian Productivity Organization Production Unit, or APO, established on July 12, 1967, controls printing accountable forms and sensitive printing requirements of the government. The APO safeguards the authenticity of documents, such as hologram stickers, carbonless official receipts, and the country's e-passport by upgrading its security features. Another recognized government printer is the National Printing Office, or NPO. They play an important role in the national and local elections by providing the official ballots and other election paraphernalia for the COMELEC. NPO assures the highest document and printing security for all election-related activities. The News and Information Bureau is PCOO's arm in securing productive relations with the local and foreign press. NIB provides content and maximizes social media to create more accessible platforms to effectively disseminate information to a global audience. Radio Television Malacanang, or RTVM, covers all the President's activities and the executive branch for news dissemination and video archiving. RTVM amplifies their coverage through online channels such as Facebook and YouTube. With the efforts to bring information to the people in real time, RTVM stays true to its mandate to strengthen public and private broadcast linkages through agency-initiated projects. Let us build the nation together and become partners for change. The PCOO, communicating the public policy of the executive branch.
So, the Presidential Communications Office is the media arm of the executive branch of government. So whatever the programs of the Department of Tourism, the Department of Justice, and other executive branches of government, we owe it to the people to communicate the same. And of course, with that said, sometimes we miss out on the most important part, that is partnering with the business sector. And there's so much that that we have to ask for pasensya with the business sector, because most of the time, government is not partnering with them, is not around with the things that they planned and intend to do for the country. I'll be presenting the updates from the Department of Tourism on behalf of the Department of Tourism. And of course, with this is an encouragement to the business community if there's something that we can do to help out with the Subcommittee on Culture with the Department of Tourism in promoting the small festivals and other investment areas in the countryside. A total of 6,620,908 foreign visitors came to the Philippines in 2017. And we had different programs, different projects that the Department of Tourism did since the President took over in June 30 of 2016. The Madrid Fusion Manila, of course, the 65th Miss Universe, the World's Street Food Congress, the diving and resort travel shows, the ASEAN meetings and related events, and the Department of Tourism's National Tourism Development Plan, or the NTDP, posits that it has to come up with the meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, or the MICE, to reinvigorate the Philippines' leadership in MICE business in Southeast Asia and stimulate more conferences and exhibitions throughout the country. With that, of course, I hope the business community can partner with the DOT. We can always help out with you engaging or tying up with them. If there is something that you need from the Presidential Communications, we try to partner with or connect you with other departments that you need to partner with. And of course, sustainable tourism growth for key destinations, namely Bohol, Puerto Princesa, Siargao, and Davao. They miss to point out Cebu, and they miss to include the Cordilleras, where I came from. I don't know why. Bakit walang ngumingiti? Nakaka-tense. And of course, third, for destinations, restoration, eco, and agri and medical tourism programs, to rationalize the TIESA investment while at the same time ensuring sustainable pathway for tourism development. And of course, the fourth is the One Mindanao program, which focuses on air, land, and water connectivity, product development, quality standards, among others. We also have, the DOT also has the Bring Home a Friend program, or BHAF, for market development promotion. And ito po yung mga partners. These are the partners. This program provides valuable incentives to both the Filipino invitees and the foreign tourists. For now, we have a total of 130 tourism road projects under the Tourism Roads Infrastructure Program, or the TRIP Convergence Program, with the Department of Tourism. Department of Tourism and the DPWH. They also have additional programs such as the Strengthened Ecotourism, National Ecotourism Strategy, or the NES. And here they identify critical ecotourism sites for development and promotion. Also, they partner with the Department of Agriculture for the farm tourism program. And this involves farm-to-market roads and farm tours in the countryside. With that, travel tourism, I just need to share with you my notes last night. I was so nervous, and I need to prepare about this because, like I said, I often speak to information officers, to students, and to prisoners. So I don't know how to encourage people who are so empowered and so powerful to be able to, and pretty much richer than government maybe. And of course, I came here to ask for partners for government, because we know that you can stand alone. And in fact, if there's anything we can do, perhaps there's more that you can do for our people. Travel and tourism remains one of the largest economic sectors, not only in the country, but also globally. It continues to create jobs, drive exports, and generate prosperity for many countries across Asia. I believe that Colliers International Philippines is here. And Colliers International Philippines believe that the development of 3 to 4-star hotels, and which was presented a while ago, in resort destinations would be more visible over the next 2 to 3 years. And among the most attraction locations for these developments are Cebu, Bacolod, Iloilo, Palawan, Davao, and Bohol. Again, they miss to mention the Cordilleras and other areas in the countryside, poor areas. No, not so poor areas. Not so developed areas in the countryside. With the ongoing improvement of the country's transport infrastructure, it would not be so difficult to travel through our mountain ranges and consider developing hotels or inns, affordable inns, near transport terminals. And of course, as developers and operators, we encourage to give emphasis that would highlight cultural and historical aspects of old buildings that could be redeveloped into accommodation facilities. We at the Subcommittee for Cultural Awareness, together with the Secretary of the Department of Tourism, share the same sentiment in promoting the Philippine culture and tradition, aside from the country's popular beaches and amazing destinations. Letting tourists, both foreign and our local tourists alike, experience Filipino tradition, like those that we have in Mountain Province and other areas in the country, other cultural festivals in the countryside, the experience of Filipino dances, the Tayaw and the Turayan, along with farm tours, or mountain climbing and other ecotourism activities, serves as another selling point to boost the country's tourism. Again, with that, we hope that the private sector would look into it, and the Ayala Group, of course, would look into bringing more developments in the countryside. Before ending, I'd like to show another video before I say thank you and daghang salamat. The video, please.
everybody just gotta admit. Every time I hear a funky groove, about to have a connection fit. Starts in my feet, y'all, and goes straight to my booty. It's like a spiritual experience, I'm delirious, and it smells like dookie.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us rebuild this nation. Maraming salamat po. Diyos Tagnina.